Climb Out is the UK's first queer climbing festival. It was all about creating a community where outdoor climbing meets queer joy.
It's really for anybody who fits under the umbrella of queer and allies as well. We really wanted to make sure that everybody felt welcome. It's in our core values, but seeing people here from all different backgrounds, all different abilities, all different physical characteristics, from all parts of the world has been really, really wonderful, and that's how we wanted it to be.
I'm doing the 19 track course today with my friends, so it's an exciting day.
I'd never been to a queer climbing festival before, but I'm really glad I came.
That one, you'd have been pulled into the rock, wouldn't you? Climb Out is an amazing festival. I arrived last night and there were amazing colours, rainbow flags everywhere. Everyone's really smiley and happy.
I've loved every second. I'm a straight, middle-aged white male. I've come away with so much more awareness and understanding of genders and sexualities. I kind of feel like a kind of better person.
It's just so special. It's so nice to find people who are just like instantly connected over something. It's like climbing and then it's being queer, and it's just, there's so much that already connects us all, so it just makes friendship a lot easier.
It's really lovely for me to be involved in a really inclusive environment. As a paraclimber, I don't actually hang around in like super inclusive environments, and then when you go into a really inclusive environment, you really notice the difference.
When you tie into someone at the other end of the rope with trotting, then you're really putting absolute faith in somebody and that trust. And there's been so much trust and faith and honesty this weekend. It's been absolutely incredible.
Oh, there should definitely be more festivals like Climb Out. It's like such a positive, wonderful, safe space to just be yourself. And I think every community deserves that. So this is magical. It should happen everywhere.
Climbing was one of the best gifts that somebody ever gave to me, and I think we've brought that to some people over this weekend. So yeah, I'm super happy about that at the Climate Festival.
Welcome to the 2026 British Bouldering Championships finals, live here in Manchester at the Depot Climbing Centre. 16 of the country's best about to step onto the mats, all fighting to be British champion. It's a full World Cup format here tonight for the finals, and I'm joined throughout by British team climber and all-round legend of the sport, Molly Thompson-Smith.
Hello, Mike.
Thanks, Molly. This event plays a big role really into the British team selection here tonight, and you can really feel that intensity in the venue as the athletes are brought out for their presentation. A really high quality semi-finals this morning. How important would you say a performance is here for those who are looking to represent Great Britain internationally and on the World Cup circuit this year that's coming up?
Yeah, like you said, the intensity is high, the atmosphere is tense here because there are spaces to be on the British climbing team for the 2026 season on the line, and also to represent GB at the World Cup events this year. So we do have some of the athletes that are pre-selected. We have 5 men who are pre-selected to the World Cup team and 2 women, but that means we have 3 spots in the women's up for grabs and just 1 spot in the men's. So tonight is going to be a really important night for a few of those men in that finals lineup.
Just as the athletes go into the observation, that's 2 minutes per boulder. Let's have an opportunity to have a look at the start list. In the men's competition on the men's side, from the semi-finals, it was Jack McDougall who topped the semi-final standings with a confidence performance, really looking pretty chill throughout a very hard round. Max Milne followed closely behind, really delivering when it really mattered most after what was a proper stressful start for him. Diane Akhtar just fractions behind in third with a really gritty performance. A couple of names lower down, Rhys Conlon and Hamish MacArthur complete the top 5. Further down in the men's competitions, I'll come to the women's in just a second. Aidan Dunn, Luca Martins, Jacob Amos rounded out the top 8, all really fighting hard to secure that place in the finals. In the women's competitions, the list we just saw there, it really was Emma Edwards once again who set the pace, delivered a composed and really rounded performance at the top of the field. Izzy Bridgens followed closely, continuing her strong run through the competition. And while ex-British champion Zoe Petermans really did use that experience, we saw that a lot on the boulders, to slot into third. Isabella Rinaldi, Lucy Garlick round out the top 5, and the experience of Eugenie Robinson-Lee, Isabella Edgington and Livy Jen all doing just enough to book their place from 5th to 8th. With margins this tight though, Molly, I would say this one's wide open.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict who could win this one, and that's what makes the British Bouldering Championship so exciting. We've got previous winners, we've got first-time finalists, and yeah, it's really all to play for.
Bit of housekeeping then. We are here in Manchester. We are live. It is the final of the British Championships. 4 boulders up against men, 4 boulders for men, 4 boulders for women. They're going to have 4 minutes to climb each of the boulders, and there's 8 finalists in each group. They are in the 2-minute observation phase at the moment, where they work their way across the boulders as a collective, trying to figure out what this nasty bunch of route setters have put in front of them. We'll talk you through the boulders in just a minute. This is a World Cup style format, Olympic boulder scoring. Some people call it the waterfall. Basically, you have climbers 1 to 4 come out on the mat individually before climber 1 moves on to boulder 2. The climber who seeded 5th starts their campaign on number 1. That will start to become fairly obvious as we go through the competition, but essentially at times we will have 4 climbers on the mat all at the same time. Observation then, they are working as a group. As I said, Molly, 2 boulders to go out each, and it's always an interesting look at the boulders. We've had a good talk through with the route setters as well. Semi-final was a very, very excellent and classic set of boulders, but here tonight you would have thought finals, they've tried to put a few showstoppers in there.
Yeah, we've definitely got some unusual maybe start and finish positions on some of these boulders. They've tried to give us a bit of a spectacle, I guess, but also still remembering that this is the British Bouldering Championships. We do want to find the most all-rounded climber, and you know, there's a lot on the line, so there's nothing too wacky out there, but we do have some fun, exciting moves up on show for tonight.
Yeah, I'm really looking to see how this round develops. Yeah, like you say, nothing too crazy, but fairly off-the-wall stuff. There's one boulder. We're just going to observe it in a minute. But basically, yeah, the finish hold is lower than the starting position by a few inches, or a few centimetres, if you like. And it's a really, really odd one. Boulder that they're observing at the moment, the guys are in the one of the steeper sections of the comp wall here at the depot. And that yellow boulder that you're looking at there is just a straight up smash fest up a brow, and there is all the styles represented, for some really basic stuff and some stuff that you've never seen before.
Yeah, absolutely. The setters have definitely tried to push the boat out a little bit and do something fun, but we have basic, just like this prow boulder. You got to test the athletes on all skills and angles.
So the boulder I was referring to, the guys have just walked over to it on the left-hand side of the arena. As we look at women's number 3, like a bit of a classic palm down catch behind the back of your head, maybe a bit of spinning before some more conventional hard moves at the top of this boulder. Interesting field in the women's. Really, really great to see Livy Gent making the finals. It was really close. It was down to attempts to zones really to get into this final ranking of 8 women. And Livy, after such a massive break from competition climbing from the end of her youth career and just kicking things off again as a senior, to now make a British Championships finals is excellent.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy to underestimate how significant the jump is from junior to senior, and it's always really nice to see those junior athletes coming through. You know, we had the under-17s finals earlier this evening, and they've also been competing just across the weekend as well, and that's what I love about the British Champs, is you have the future, the next gen, alongside some of the best in the country and the best in the world, rubbing shoulders, celebrating each other's climbing, and it's just, nice to see. And here we have that kind of wacky boulder where the finish
bizarre
hole
boulder
is actually lower than the start.
Yeah, so
the
it's
highest start hole.
There's sort of 3 circles that you have to campus up to a really, really terrible crimp that's got the start disc on it, before a bit more of a conventional move, and you swing essentially into something in the groove. We've been given some ideas about what might happen, but we'll let that one play out before touching low to a finish hold. And, I'm not sure to make of that one. We shall see.
Yeah, hopefully that's a concept that, works out and is the showstopper that it's been planned to be. Would be nice.
Or it'll be a total dead rubber and we'll all be criticising the route setting. Because, with route setting, it's all criticism most of the time and you only hear glory once or twice.
Yeah, they do have an incredibly tough job and most of the time only receive negative feedback. But we have to say the route setters did absolutely smash the semi-final round earlier today.
But having said that, they were working right up to the last minute for tweaks of the boulders from the semi-final round. So the team were on the mats with the tools, making adjustments really quite late on in the session of rebuilding the boulders. And I do wonder if there's an element of nerves in the route setting team, or they're confident in the results that they saw from the semi-final and want to make those boulders just perfect. But what are they aiming for tonight? Are they aiming for the perfect show for all of us to enjoy on this Sunday evening? Or are they looking for that great split in results that will really help the British team selectors make their decisions going forward to the season?
Well, I guess maybe we could ask one of them later on. Hopefully we'll have one of the route setters joining us. But if you want to hear some insider perspective from the route setters, you can go and check out the semi-final stream from earlier today where Chief route setter Dave Barron's joined us along with some other guests.
What is a treat really for us fans is the amount of international athletes that we've seen at World Cups competing on the stage in front of us tonight. Some of the big names that we've seen in the World Cup semi-finals and finals: Jack McDougall, Diane Akhtar, Hamish MacArthur. In the men's, Emma Edwards, Lizzie Bridgens and Zoe. These are all big names who have made big things happen on the biggest stage.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting that we have World Championship finalists, we have World Championship medalists, World Cup medalists. Olympian, yeah.
Alongside the one that's sitting here.
Yes. And there's another one in the building, actually. We have 3 Olympians in the building today, which is pretty exciting.
Talent is oozing out of the depot here today.
I know. I think it's quite an exciting time to be a British climber, British comp climber, or just a fan of British comp climbing. We've got so much depth in our talent now, and it's really amazing to see it all kind of coming through and us representing on the world stage as well.
That is it. Observation has finished. So our first climbers, Jacob Amos and Livy Gent, will be joining us shortly. Just want to go back to that point. You've mentioned 3 Olympians. You're one of them. What is it that since sort of Tokyo Olympics or pre-Tokyo that has created a real increase in the number of top athletes in the British team?
Well, that is a big question. I guess as we move forwards in the sport, we are developing more pathways and structures, and more funding is coming into the sport, and it's really cool to see that we have quite a few funded athletes now on the UK Sport Funded programme, which enables them to go on funded training camps. They don't have to pay for competitions anymore, and that's the stuff that most maybe ex-comp climbers would have dreamed of when they were in the team and on the circuit. So the support is growing, it's getting there. More people are able to be a professional climber and not having to do a day job or route set or anything. So I think just, more support, more time, people can focus on their recovery, and more facilities as well. We've got brand new climbing walls opening up, we've got more investment going into the sport, and the general public are benefiting, but also our top athletes are benefiting as well. I think there's just, a lot more in many ways, and we've got international route setters come to set for this British Bouldering Championships to try and prepare the British athletes as best as possible for the international season. So that's really cool, and maybe we'll hear from Pierre later.
Let's get it underway then. Livy Gent, who we mentioned earlier, into the British Bouldering Championships senior finals. She's going to make a start in the women's competition. This one is scored in the same way that we see for World Cups and those Olympics that we keep harping on about. 10 points is the first zone hold, or the zone as it used to be called is now worth 10 points, and the top is 25. And after that, it's a 0.1 point deduction for every failed attempt. So a top score would be 100 if it was 4 perfect flashes.
And I think these two athletes will just be incredibly excited to be in this final, and so hopefully they have just a great experience competing at this level.
Actually had quite a good chat with Livy in between the rounds. She was pretty cooked after the semi-finals and a big day yesterday, but just so psyched to have done well. Her coach here, Huz, and her mum have just followed her all the way around the circuit all the time, and just such fantastic support for Livy, and she's out there delivering the goods.
Oh, Jacob getting very close to sticking that first zone hold on the men's slab. A tricky little step through on some pretty terrible volumes, a mix of texture and no-tex. And I've been up and touched them, and they're quite slippy, so... And another slippy foot sequence for the women here. Apparently there is a small logo, small on that left foothold, that if you stand on it makes it slightly easier.
Yeah, it's like the logo that's embedded into the hold. It's still...
It's slightly raised.
Yeah, minimal raise, but apparently just enough to stand on. A good hold in the route setter's mind, but not to anybody else.
Yeah, it's a ledge, right?
Jacob did it well on the semi-final slab. The first boulder was quite technical in its nature. He did well on that. That was enough to actually get him through. A lot of footwork involved in that one, so maybe the slab could be somewhere on this final that he can start making a mark. The no texture walk, it's literally most climbers' worst nightmare, as Livy does well.
Both athletes sticking that tricky foot transition move. And Livy up into this awful, groovy, shoulder pressy nightmare.
Oh, this is good from Livy. What a start this could be. 2 hands for the match, 25 points.
No nightmare for Livy. Made it look like a walk in the park.
Walk in the park. Across the shiny volumes, it'll be 25 minus a few points for attempts.
Wow. Some amazing flexibility there from Jacob.
Felt that from here, to be honest with you. No, I'm not as young as I used to be, but geez.
Now, there are a couple different methods, I think, for this end of this men's first boulder. Either reaching out with a foot like Jacob did, or kind of going out into palms. So we'll see what the athletes choose.
Really tiny little first or second move, that to stand up into the balanced position. Walking away though, not meant to be. Luca Martins and Izzy Edgington out next. Luca sort of scraped his way into this final a little bit. Obviously, he was just ahead of Jacob Amos, but really had a lot of trouble on the first and second boulders. And then, as soon as he found something to really get his teeth into, a bit more power, came good on boulders 3 and 4.
Luca straight into the 10.
Luca been quite open on his social media recently that he does train a lot of slab, but it's definitely not his preferred style. So he would have thought if he can get through this boulder with a damage limitation essentially, and anything more than that might be a bonus, and then he can get really stuck in on the next set of boulders. As Isabella Edgington just sort of living the nightmare that is the dual texture blobs at the start of W1.
Nicely done there from Izzy.
Really footwork intensive start to this competition. And a lot of use of dual texture as Izzy Edgington pushes towards that top, as we saw with Livy. The men have got a battle of their own with the dual texture holds.
Izzy's legs shaking there, showing just how much pressure going through those feet.
Still a good amount of time for both athletes as Luca starts to consider what's next here in this corner.
And he opts for the palm out. Can he get into that box?
This is looking very good here for Luca Martins. I said anything on this boulder would be a really good start for Luca, and it is a top. Super psyched with that. Originally from Mile End in London, now moved up to the training meccas of the north. Walks away with the top on the first boulder.
Izzy's made her way back across this techie nightmare.
Really pumping that right foot as well. We saw on the previous attempt that she did just slip on that. You see how much force is going through that foot. There's that leg shake that we saw again. Awkward position, really crimping the back of the volume with the left hand. That's going to hurt. Better. Nicely done in the end. Good composure. Showed a lot of experience there. Kept her composure all the way through the last half a minute on that boulder. Was a top in 4 attempts for Luca Martin, so it'll be a 24.7 for him. Next climbers out then, Aidan Dunn and Eugenie Robinson-Lee. Both been on the circuit for quite some time now. You must have competed on the mats a few times with this pairing, Molly.
Yes, I've known both of these for quite a long time, but it's nice to see them still at the top of the sport in the UK and here at the British Bouldering Championships finals.
Yeah, Eugenie currently the Quiff champion from last year. Absolutely smashed that event back in March 2025.
Aidan had quite a disappointing British Bouldering Championships last year, so it's good to see him back and performing at his best.
Yeah, pressure's on a little bit for the guys having, and for the women's competition, because they're going to know the isolation zone is just around the corner from the competition wall that tops have been had early on in this round, and I'm assuming that adds an element of pressure. You know, you've got to start performing straight on the first boulder.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of good to know that the boulder can be done, but then it obviously also puts some pressure on you to also do the boulder. So
Aidan Dunn has got that double plywood Masters victory to his name, and let's see what he can make of this tenuous first boulder. Just trying to search for options on his left foot at the moment.
Trying to undercut that dual textured hold. I'm not sure that's the way, but still plenty of time on the clock to make some adjustments.
I have to say, Jenny looking so confident on her feet at the moment. I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, Mike, that was mean. But she was looking very confident on her feet, and yeah, with 2 minutes on the clock, I'm sure she's got enough time to get back up there.
Looks like he's possibly just rushing that further section, like getting through the start moves quite easily each time. Then Aidan, he just looks like a little bit scrappy when he comes to move into the next section.
Jenny really chilling through this start section. It's great to see how well these pump climbers can kind of just repeat these moves that were tricky maybe to begin with after a little bit of learning and practice.
Jenny just finding that way to sort of unwind out of the corner from head down to head up position, looking for the finish hold. So much force going through that left foot, and she does. Stay in control, gets it done. Got the spark, excuse me, got the sparkles on the face as a bit of additional look for the finals there as well.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a trend at the moment with the current roster of competitors. Sparkles for finals.
I've got mine on, so.
See what Aidan can do with probably his last go, and just looking a little bit stumped.
A little bit of an instant replay of the few times before. Not sure if he's even looking at the clock because he's not really got enough time. He wants to walk away, and he does. "15 seconds before the next rotation starts, which gives Hamish MacArthur and Lucy Garlick enough time to come out of the isolation zone and get in front of their boulders. Hamish was another climber who struggled a little bit at the start of the semi-final. Pressure was really on two technical boulders, and was really looking around and looking a little bit nervous when he approached the third boulder, but ultimately when it came down to the fourth and most powerful boulder, it was like he was warming up all of a sudden. So the talent was definitely there, but it was a bit sketchy for a moment.
Yeah, and I guess that's what separates the athletes like Max and Hamish from the rest of the field. Maybe it's that experience and that trust in their ability to kind of pull it together and make it happen when it counts. Good start for Hamish. He just reaches all the way over into that undercut, using that length.
Yeah, Hamish 6 foot, which I think is 182 centimetres.
And climbs every single centimetre of that 182 centimetres.
Uses it all, but what's he going to do here? Oh, the savage palm into the corner. I think we need to keep an eye on those shoulders. They're going to be needed later on in this competition, I think, with that rather cryptic orange boulder we talked about just to the side of Lucy there. Lucy done really well recently in the international circuit. Another climber has just come through the youth programme. First and second at the European Youth Championships, and now we will definitely start to see her more and more in the Senior World Cups. Oh, that's grim.
Yeah, I really saw that foot slip down that hold then. Not so encouraging. Hamish is back on.
Much better from Hamish. You saw the left palm just smash into the wall just slightly higher that time. Surely he's going to finish it from here. Bit awkward, but gets it done. Had to work for it. So it's going to be all eyes on Lucy though, with 1 minute and 40 still to go. I'm not sure about all this walking across dual texture volumes, man. I'm going to have to be honest.
I mean, I'll be honest in saying that I'll walk past it at climbing wall if I see it, and it's not something that I am interested in climbing in personally. But it is an extra layer of challenge, I guess, that the route setters can play with when testing these athletes.
Is it not a bit of rage bait from the route setters?
Maybe I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here and give the perspective of the route setters, but yeah, I guess maybe nicely held from Lucy.
Yeah, it certainly is a method for creating separation between the athletes, and they're all got the same equal challenge in front of them. Nice from Lucy. Another top on women's 3-4 tops so far. You can see the various attempts being knocked off there. 0.1 point deduction from the 25 for the top gives them their score. On the scoring chart, you can see on the left-hand side, the darker red is their current progression bar, and the lighter red next to it is their potential. So Aidan Dunn, Jacob Amos, you can see that they cannot potentially get a full bar because they didn't top boulders number 1, and that will become quite useful as we go through this competition, see what potential climbers have to catch up with the person in the lead. So
We've now moved on so that we have 4 athletes out on the mats.
Trickier to keep up with, not going to lie.
Absolutely.
But lots of action across the wall. Rhys Conlon, who had a fantastic start of the competition in semi-finals on the slab, he will start on men's number 1 in the white t-shirt there. Isabella Rinaldi, she will start the women's competition, and it will be Jacob Amos and Livy Gent back out, and they start the campaign on boulders 2. We will do absolutely everything we can to keep action across all 4 boulders, at times dropping into multiple screens. Isabella Rinaldi there in the red-white spider climbing wall t-shirt really possibly had the moment of the semi-finals, the first climber to do an absolutely wild sort of lâché swing move in the semi-finals on women's boulder number 4. And it sort of set off a bit of a send train on that boulder.
Yeah, we've got some more coordination coming up from the women later, so hopefully we can see Iggy unlocking some more moves then. So the women have gone from one extreme to another, from technical, dual textured or no textured walking on slabs to straight up bow, up and prow.
Yeah, comp climbing in a nutshell there. Route setters testing every element.
Iggy looking good on her feet, setting up to come up into the shoulder on F1.
Livy Gent going through a lot of attempts really quickly here as well. She was pretty tired going into the finals and was just going to go out there and just see what happens essentially, but it has been a pretty long weekend so far. Especially when you have a hard scrap to get into the finals. Sort of not got much left in the tank, as Rhys Conlon gave him the big up for being really good on the slab in the semi-final, struggling so far on men's 1, but Iggy Rinaldi walking across those like they're full texture ledges currently. Really good from Livy. What a battle. See the drain out across the shoulders as she went for that. Jacob tried something entirely different this time. Hands switched in the starting position.
Has Iggy got enough time to finish off this boulder? She's been close before.
Right on the buzzer here for Iggy. Nice. Very nice. Reese Conlon walking away empty-handed pretty much from that boulder as well. Did get the zone hold, but ultimately no top. Into the top three of a very, very stacked lineup. Diane Akhtar and Zoe Petermans, both absolutely crushing in 2025. Isabella Edgerton's going to move on to boulder number 2, as well as Luca Martins.
Yeah, it was great to see Zoe making her first semi-final at the World Championships in Boulder last year.
Yeah, Zoe, a former winner of this event, 2024.
Luca trying the right method on M2. Let's see if he can convert that into some success on zone holds.
Closer look at what's in store on men's number 2 then. Sort of a bit of a swing and catch with a toe hook for the right foot for good measure. Complex sort of flick. Diane just struggling a little bit with the amount of movements required on men's number 1. Luca going early with the toe catch.
Diane absolutely rattling through attempts here.
Yeah, Zoe pushes for the top. Quite a quick top as well for Zoe. That extra 2 minutes of rest added on to an already decent amount of rest would be really good for Zoe as she gets that top down nice and quickly. Considering how powerful the next boulder is. How bad that right hand sort of screwing is in the yellow there for Isabella Edgington. Luca just really trying to figure out the coordination element of that boulder. He was trying to go toe first before aiming the hand. That time went for the hand just before the foot, but Diane looking in much more control. Should get it done from here. And does. Luca absolutely rattling off the attempts here. A move that requires both perfection on the right hand and the right toe at the same time. One of those moves, Monique, where you have to decide which thing to look at. Is it the toe or is it the hand?
Yeah, or is it dead ahead in the middle?
Yeah, aim down the middle, hope for the best.
Looks like Luca's arms are doing a little bit more work than his legs at the moment. He is very strong, so...
I don't think Luca would mind you saying that for most of his climbing, to be honest. An absolute monster on the boards. Walking away with no top though. No zone either. Penultimate pair on the first boulders. Crowd is always pretty pleased to see Max Milne and Izzy Bridgens. Moving on to boulders number 2, it's Aidan Dunn and Eugenie. 4 climbers on the wall at the same time, following the World Cup 8 climbers format.
Wow, Izzy's showing just how good at slab climbing and delicate climbing she is, and Matt's showing his springing climbing style.
Atmosphere's really just gone up a notch all of a sudden as we get into the top 2 climbers.
Wow, Aidan making moves. Izzy topping effortlessly. It is really all just kicking off now.
Oh, the Scrabble. Absolute hunt for the tiny little screw on with his right hand there. Potentially bleeding out of his left palm a little bit as he just went for full battle mode. Really wrapping that big purple plywood volume. First climber to get through to the zone. The zone is marked as the 10-point hold on that volume, which was where we saw Aidan drop. Nice from Eugenie, slightly different technique.
Yeah, but looked like it worked really well.
Found a path of least resistance the route setters didn't necessarily see. Oh, fingertips from Eugenie. One more move to go.
And there we got to see that amazing first move from Aidan on M2.
Jenny in full battle mode. Here's a tiny little crimp tucked around the corner. Got to keep working that left hand up to find it. Yes, from Eugenie. First top on women's 2. Max, interestingly, still going here on the slab. Such wonderful movement through that first move. Looks so casual.
Max trying to do all the coordination moves in one go.
Max dealt with the pressure of an early struggling semi-finals really well. Sort of seems like the athlete who doesn't get too phased by the occasion. You think with 1 minute to go, he's getting through this first move so quickly. Has got a couple more goes left in him potentially. So sick that move there. Aidan making it look pretty casual.
Yeah, great to see him executing it every single time.
Oh.
Just looking a little bit tired now. This wall is incredibly overhanging, the main roof being 61 degrees, so...
Big pressure moment here for Max. Plenty of top so far on men's number 1, but Aidan is somehow going for another go. He's already secured the zone. Have to wonder if this is really worth it, as Max has failed on boulder number 1. He's going in again with only a few seconds left on the clock. Just off shot, actually. Just tried to essentially jump for the finish hole from nowhere. Big disappointment and an early upset. Max Milne walking away from boulder 1 with just a zone hold to his name.
And we have our leaders from the semi-finals out on the mats, Emma Edwards and Jack McDougall. Jack, previous British bouldering champion. Emma Edwards out for her first title.
Yeah, and looked really dominant in the semi-finals as well, kind of cruised through the 4 boulders really. Lucy Garlick showing all the power there, just camping between those 2 moves. That's not what we saw Eugenie Lee using successfully.
Good little save there from Emma. Just about managed to bring it back in. And light work from Hamish on M2.
Hamish is in his comfort zone here at the moment.
So
Just
strong
the
on
shape,
that gaffy.
just the shape of the volume itself. Just ratting down on that right hand crimp. This is looking good. The top few holds are just some disgusting little screw-on crimps. As Emma Edwards cruises to a top. Really sketchy right heel here for Hamish. Oh, somehow secures it. It's like a left toe hook potentially work for him. Awful crimping. Whoa!
Oh no!
Off the top floor. It was scrappy, but it looked like it was working. A bit of a surprise. Hamish blew it on the last move. Lucy goes with that right hand over method, which is working as Jack McDougall sticks this move, and pretty much everybody in this position, if not everybody who's got here, has finished the boulder off. Jack McDougall wearing number 1, walks away with a top on boulder number 1. Lucy going for a top as well, trying to match Jenny Lee. Come on, yes. Tops coming thick and fast in the women's competition now.
Yeah, unlike the semi-final round where it seemed like it was a little harder for the women to get the tops in, seems like we're seeing quite a few more on this final set.
Yeah, in a discussion with the Roots, as I mentioned earlier, they were tweaking things up to the last minute. They felt like there was a potential for the women to be quite tired after the semi-final round because it was so hard. So they were just bringing the level down very, very slightly. But this level of root setting, it's almost impossible to get it bang on every time. Hamish running the clock right down with just 1 minute to go. He knows that he's got this boulder if he can just keep it together.
Come on, Hamish. Knows exactly what to do now.
That's the sketchy right heel that just never looks good. A little bit more controlled on that top right crimp. Oh wow, beautiful left toe catch. Holding. Whoa. That looks insane.
Yeah, frustrating outcome on that boulder for Hamish MacArthur. What a fantastic first go. And just a boulder that just rinses you. It's just so full on, so powerful, but also technical and subtle, so it takes a long time to climb it.
So we are done on boulder number 1. That one is signed off, and a good job from the root setters with good separation. Moving on to boulder number 2 for a bunch of these guys then. It's going to be somebody. I've just lost my sheet. It's Livy Gent on boulder number 3. 4 climbers to keep up with at once here.
We've got Iggy Rinaldi on boulder number 2, alongside Reece Conlon.
This is the first look then at this tricky and rather bizarre looking orange boulder.
Jacob making the start look quite casual.
Yeah, looking casual, but it's all about this move really. If the start is that easy, this is kind of a one move boulder. The finish is down and right off to the right. It's almost a traverse. Will the root setter's dream come true and something really spectacular happen in that corner?
Wow, what a move from Livy, almost holding it the complete turn, spin around.
Yeah, really crazy little spin. The setters were looking for that, a little bit of show.
All eyes on Jacob right now. Can he make this swing work?
Sort of feel like he's really not sure what to do in that corner.
That looked like it could work with a bit more commitment. Just lining it up.
Felt that in the shoulder. Jump into the sort of shoulder spin. That boulder's certainly not over after that move either. There's a lot of hard crimping to do after that. It's a little bit surprising here from Iggy Ronaldo. You would have thought boulder number 2 would suit her quite well, but struggling at the bottom of that one at the moment, as Reece Conlon is in the full fight mode here on men's 2. Reece going so well at the moment. He has really got that lead climbing endurance strength as well. Oh, the double catch. Go and go again. Try and find something. See, it's actually a really big jug, but the root sets have just chucked a load of stuff behind it, and it's almost like a little letterbox catch. Looking better here from Jacob. Ooh, yeah,
getting closer
close.
and closer with each go. Building a bit more confidence, I think.
Odd seconds for Livy to take the spin. Oh, the grimmest. The picture told more than we can describe. A great effort from Livy. Shoulder's obviously not taking enough punishment. She goes in for one last go with just a couple of seconds left. Luca Martins then on 3, Diane Actor on 2, Zoe Peterman's on 2, and Isabella Edgington on women's 3. Luca just opting to skip a hold entirely there. It is quite an odd boulder. The one-handed swing into a press. Diane Akhtar, this is the sort of boulder he really likes to get stuck into. You would have thought very, very powerful. Amazing top from Izzy Edgington. Action coming all over the place here. So difficult to keep in touch with 4 boulders at the same time.
Oh, brutal fire from Diane. And he looks mad about that, and I would be too.
Brutal scenes. We've seen that all throughout today. Let's see what Luca can make of it this time. Oh, nice. Really good work from Luca. The finish now, he's got to just lean downhill somehow. Find a position that works to take both hands off and put it in control on the finish hold. There's the drop knee. That is brilliant from Luca. What a shot that is as well. from the production team. Brilliant stuff.
Zoe finds this right hand over method. Can she take it to the top?
Atmosphere's absolutely rocketed up a notch or two now. All of a sudden we're starting to see tops. Crowd really getting right behind all of the athletes. Yes, from Zoe.
Second top for Zoe Petermans.
Really, really good. Didn't look too impressed with that boulder a minute or two ago, and now it's all smiles. How bad that sort of dragged pocket is for the right hand. The holes don't really get any better, unfortunately. This is where we saw Hamish drop then.
Just slipping out of that position.
I feel like boulder number 2 is just so power endurance based.
But Diane back in for another go. One final go, and it wasn't meant to be.
A very optimistic final go. Really, really good rotation of climbers there. Max Milne and Izzy Bridgens are going to be out next. The fight on boulder 2s. Eugenie Lee also coming back out, along with Izzy Bridgens. Max then really sort of disappointing start to the competition on number 2. Crowd here instantly, kind of the fan club gets going for Max.
Looking like he wants to try and do the move without catching the toe hook.
Let's see what Aidan Dunn can do in this orange groove section then. Brilliant top from Luca Martins. That could be huge in terms of this competition, you know.
Yeah, Luca off to a great start. Okay, Max is back in. Looks like he's lining it up for the toe hook this time. Oh yeah. There we go.
Looking pretty dejected out there at the moment. Max hasn't found his flow so far in this finals. Men and women's finals running simultaneously here, so we've got to keep track of 4 climbers at the same time. Aidan just got to find that poise in the corner. Got to turn a full powerful swing into a controlled position, into a groove.
Jenny into the meat of this third boulder.
Everyone's looking pretty gassed out there at the moment. This is a hard round of boulders.
And it's been a long weekend for these athletes. 3rd round in 2 days. All very hard boulders.
Nice from you, Jenny. There's that cool spin move.
Yeah, not much time for her to rest there, but hopefully she's got enough gas in the tank to finish this one off.
Yeah, a lot more conventional style of climbing after this, sort of small crimps, gastons, slopers. Good control from Eugenie. Next hold is absolutely awful, having said that. Terrible slope for the left. Oh, great effort from Eugenie. Probably not enough time to have another go, though.
No, but an amazing last effort nonetheless.
Izzy Bridgens in full scramble mode here as well.
She's not got much time left on the clock, and with a foot slip, that's it.
Max's fans will go a bit quiet at the moment as he's walking away with another disappointment. Jack McDougall, Hamish MacArthur, Lucy Garlick, Emma Edwards, after absolute domination of the first boulder, back out as well. It's been Emma Edwards' competition to lose at the moment. Going on the form book from this weekend. Wow, from Hamish.
Amazing first go from Hamish.
On the flash burn. Lucy Garlick crushing it up on women's 3 as well. Such an awkward boulder. Hamish making it work though. Facing out. Camera's going to love that.
Oh yeah, giving us
Nice.
what the route setters wanted. And that looked a little bit trivial, to be honest.
Lucy Garlick on the last move. Sticks it only just with the right hand. Incredible from Lucy. First top on women's 3. Last opportunity for a top on men's 2 as well. As Emma Edwards looks like it's been a bit of a battle, but ultimately getting it done here. 2 tops for Emma. Really good show so far. Really good to watch. Keeping track of 4 climbers at once. Keeps it spicy, but keeps it exciting. Hamish probably run down the clock now. Very long power endurance boulder. A lot of moves to this one. No tops so far. Did see Aidan Dunn and Hamish both making a pretty good effort on boulder number 2. With boulder number 3 looking very toppable, you'd feel like a top here from Jack could put him in a very, very dominant position in this final. Incredible how we've had action coming thick and fast with 4 climbers on the wall all at once, and now we've got nobody.
I know, the pace is up and down in this final. It's all happening at once and then it's all calm, but Jack just running down the clock. Jack, one of our pre-selected athletes for World Cups this year, but that's the thing, everyone's a competitor and they want to come home with the title, so even though this is a selection event, they're also here to become the next, or again, a British bouldering champion.
As per most of the athletes we've seen, they run it down to 1 minute, knowing they've got one really good go left in them, but a bit of a fumble on that move. A false start from Jack, so he now leaves himself 40 seconds to get this done. Going to be now or never, surely. The opportunity here is massive.
Sticks that move, but not left himself much time to finish it off.
Full fight here now.
Racing up this boulder. Come
full
on,
fight
Jack.
mode. Come on. This could be absolutely massive for the result. Takes a quick look at the clock. Right heel looks sketch.
Are we going to see a buzzer beater? Come on, Jack.
Whoa.
What an amazing effort.
Amazing scenes from Jack. You can't ask for much more than that. Really intense moment there on the second boulder. Let's conclude men's number 2, women's number 2. Another pile of climbers come out, and it's Jacob Amos and Livy Gent on their final boulders, playing for pride, you would have thought, at this moment, as Iggy Rinaldi starts on women's number 3. And it's Reese Conlon. He's going to go into the groove, the swinging groove. First climbers we've seen on boulder number 4. Livy makes the start of women's number 4 look fairly trivial, and it's another swing and jump. Bit of a theme for the weekend. Oh, amazing from Livy. Touched the last hold on the first attempt. Easy-ish start, it looks like, on women's number 4. All things are relative, of course. Into a swing and sort of paddle to finish. Spectacular finish to the women's round. Men's number 4 we haven't seen much of at the moment. Jacob Amos, let's start to see that and see how that boulder develops. A very, very powerful boulder once again. Guys have 2 very powerful long boulders back to back.
Let's go!
Wow,
really
great
nice
catch from Iggy.
Livy, she's touched the last hold already then. Yeah, missing out the middle hold there. It's supposed to be sort of a 1-2-3 to finish. Iggy looking so composed on a long and endurance-y based boulder. We've seen Eugenia Lee high up on this boulder as well. For the last move then, it's sort of a blocked rail. Never really looked like she had the height on that terrible looking sloper. Maybe this time for Livy. Goes big. Oh, there's so much going on with that. Women's number 4 is definitely go big and then go home.
Oh, Reese stopping on that first blob.
Wow. What a move. Didn't see that one coming.
He's still fighting to the very end.
Amazing from Reese. Boulder men's number 3 definitely looking very doable at the moment. Looks like it's going to have to be done as well. Iggy and Livy still on the wall. Oh, again looking really controlled on the first of those 3 black side pulls as Iggy drops the last move. Hard to keep track of the number of attempts all of a sudden here for Livy Gent. Putting everything on the line here as a final throws of this British Championships. Having a lot of attempts, not necessarily getting much closer than the first go. That is going to be it. Really good competition for Jacob Amos and for Livy. They can definitely walk away with their heads held high at the end of this amazing British Championships weekend.
And as Mike steps out, I am joined by Dave Barons, our chief route setter for this year's British Bouldering Championships.
Hello, Molly.
How are you finding the finals, Dave?
Yeah, it's going all right, isn't it?
I think it's been an amazing show so far. How did you find watching semis? Did you have to make many tweaks for this final round?
Yeah, a few tweaks here and there. Maybe one tweak too many on men's 2, but you live and learn.
Absolutely, and it's so
yeah,
hard
we moved
to
the
know.
finishing hold up a tiny bit, and it was a little bit too much, but...
Well, the boulder still gave plenty of entertainment, so I'm sure everyone enjoyed watching at home. Also, do you take into account how tired the athletes are going to be when they come to this final round?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, try and tone down the power a little, but still trying to keep it a show. Oh.
Amazing finish to Izzy Edgington's final.
Izzy's been on fire.
Izzy has been on fire, and it's great to see her dispatching that women's four so quickly.
Yeah, the youth that are coming through are so good at these coordination moves. It's so instinctive. Like, it's really cool to see, but really hard to set for.
Yeah, I bet. Do you have to work much on your coordination to be able to set these moves?
Oh, I get the luxury of having 300 goes before I do them. That's why I route set and don't compete anymore.
There's been quite a few show-stopping moves and some wacky elements to this final. Can you tell us where the inspiration for some of these interesting sequences came from? Maybe particularly this orange boulder.
You probably don't want to go to those depths of the route setter's mind, but yeah, the orange boulder was a concept from Pierre, which...
Oh, and just an amazing hold from Zoe. Can she match? Yes, she can.
She'll be thankful we dropped that down a little bit.
Yeah, great fight from Zoe there. I think a bit of fitness and lead training coming in clutch, hanging on in there for that final match.
Yeah, I think the steepness of this combo will definitely suit those that have kind of dual disciplined a bit and have that little bit of endurance to fall back on. But
yeah, absolutely. These boulders are powerful, but they're also quite long. And the wall in general is quite steep. Was it challenging to set so many physical boulders and kind of have that in your minds in terms, like taking that into account with difficulty and like fatigue of the athletes?
yeah, I mean, the route setting team are battered because
I bet.
It's also really hard to put a level of risk into something so steep without it being AB+. Like,
yeah, or super dangerous,
or
I guess.
super dangerous. I mean, these guys are so strong as well. It's like, it's a fine line between them all just walking up it and none of them doing it at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the BMC or the British climbing team asked for this to be representative of World Cups.
They did.
You've competed at many World Cups. What do you say?
I think we're somewhere near. I don't think they'd get the 63-degree roof in a World Cup, but...
No, but we're working with what we got.
Yeah. But certainly this kind of campus style that we've kind of embraced on the roof is of the ilk that they're setting at the World Cups now.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a really varied set. We've had some teetering and wobbling across slab, we've had no techs, we've had coordination, and we've certainly had a lot of burl. So you packed it all in there.
That's certainly what I aim for. I want to see the best overall climber win, not just the person that's best at one style.
Yeah, and that's what we all want to see at home as well. Even though we have favourites, I think we
all have our favourites.
We all have our favourites, but we're here to
Being
find
a shorter man, Max is my favourite, but...
Yeah, Max is one of my favourites too, but yeah, he's actually struggled a little bit in this final round. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I thought he'd get on with his style. He's looked maybe a little tense, maybe there's a lot of pressure, or he's kind of struggling to find that comp head.
Yeah, I guess
so
he's had
early
a
in the
bit of
season.
time out, hasn't he, after injury?
Yeah, he broke his foot just before World Champs last year, didn't he? So
Yeah, and had to miss out on that, so I know he was absolutely gutted, but he has trained harder than anyone I know in the last half year.
yeah, he's so driven. Like, it's really cool to see, really inspiring to see as well.
Yeah, he's so process driven as well rather than outcome, which I think is quite... I mean, he's obviously focused on the outcome as well, but he's got a really good way of looking at it, and I can't remember the exact phrasing he used for his philosophy during coming back from that injury, but he had a really good mindset about it, and I'm just really happy to see him back on the mats. Oh, Izzy opting for a slightly different method.
Yeah.
Is that something that you...
I had to look at that. I wasn't flexible enough, so...
Izzy is definitely super flexible. It's one of her
decided that isn't going to work. So.
But yeah, hopefully we can see Max get to the top or halfway up this wall.
Halfway up this wall. Before going down again.
Before going down again.
No, originally we had the finishing hold at the top of the wall, and we were worried about the taller boys being able to cheat it, so that was one of the tweaks we made, was we moved the finishing hold down.
Very smart. As much as we love to see a beat a break, I think this kind of spectacular swing is much better.
Yeah, it'd be cool if someone does it the way Pierre wanted it, which was to spin and face out.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of facing out action, but not the full spin.
Not the full spin in midair.
Face out. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a unique concept. How's it been having the Frenchman join the route setting team?
It's been good. Like, it's a very different style to most of the UK setters, so it's been really nice to have that input and also the experience that he has.
Yeah, he was an Olympic route setter. He's set at many World Championships, so definitely brings an interesting perspective to the team, I'm sure. Jenny just lining up this final dyno. Just not quite nailing that hand coordination.
There was something in the setup swing that she wasn't doing right there. Like,
2 minutes to go though, so plenty of time for these athletes. And their last few boulders of this British Bouldering Championship.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about this format at first, but I think it does work. Like, it's frantic.
It's a lot to keep up with, and it's quite chaotic, but it means that there is a lot going on, so it's never boring.
There's a lot for the crowd to see. Oh, Max, really close to sticking another method on that.
Yeah, nice to see so many different methods on these boulders as well. Maybe some unintended from the route set side of things, but makes for a more interesting watch.
Yeah, I mean, a beat a break is fine from the route setting team. If it's one person, it's kind of cool. Like, if they all come and do it and it's way easier than what we intended, then that's when we get annoyed.
Yeah, but I've not seen pretty much any beat a breaking.
No, we've done a lot of processing around beat breaking.
A lot of testing, a lot of checking. Well done to the route setting team. Aiden looking a bit tired on the steep.
That's pretty brutal, that move. Like,
yeah.
Ewan McFadden, a Scottish contingent, like, he's very good on that style. Like,
and a tough way to finish out this competition. Yeah. Can you, Jenny, make this final go count? She's slowed down the movement quite a bit, but just wasn't quite close enough to the wall to latch onto that final hold.
Yeah, again, maybe just a bit of fatigue kicking in. And
I think so. Been a big weekend, but I'm sure she'll be psyched to be back in finals. And from what I remember, her score was looking pretty good. She's currently in 4th place. So close for Max there, and he lets his emotions show a little bit, a bit of frustration.
He's looking, a little bit upset. Like, obviously he wants to win. Like,
yeah, Max definitely turns up to win, but yeah, not quite having the round or kind of the day that he'd probably hoped for.
Yeah, he looked a little off in semis as well, and like he said to me after, he felt like really off on the coordination move in semi-finals, and just a little tense on the slab. So
yeah, well, I guess he's one of the pre-selected athletes for the World Cup, so this is kind of a bit of a warm-up for him for the season. He's got time to refine, recalibrate, and hopefully lock in on those coordination moves.
Yeah, so he'll definitely go into his process and learn from it and come out stronger.
For sure. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Dave.
Pleasure. Thanks, Molly.
Enjoy the rest of the finals.
Opportunity here with Hamish MacArthur back on the mats as Jack McDougall goes into the corner with another spectacular jump across the groove.
Wow, look at that shoulder flexibility and mobility.
Does really look at the full package, having just seen Max Milne really struggle on that boulder. There's more flexibility right there. The awkward lean across. Oh, the head bar.
Wow, Jack going all in on this boulder. Can he make that match
Surely
work?
not from there.
Is he just... I think we can't quite see it on screen,
I think
but
he's
I reckon
armbarring.
he's gone for a tactical thumb match.
Wowza. Oh, holding the hold above and pushing the thumbs down to the finish hold. Emma Edwards, that was in all of that action, just topped that boulder like it was a little warm-up climb. Absolute scenes here all of a sudden.
And it seems like it's a bit of a battle between Lucy, Emma and Zoe. All three in with a chance of topping the whole final set of boulders. So fighting for podium places.
Yeah, you feel like the attempts to the paddle dyno on women's number 4 really could become absolutely crucial for podiums at the moment. Hamish MacArthur has an opportunity on this boulder, is the sentence that I started about 3 minutes ago, where so much has just happened in that time, to lay down a marker here on the final boulder as Lucy Garlick tries to finish off this comp and does.
Wow.
Such a sick boulder.
What a statement from Lucy Garlick. She has really put the pressure on Zoe and Emma.
Ooh. Hamish, the only climber on the mats at the moment, with the audible beep for 1 minute remaining. Hamish really in the moment, in the right mindset. You can see him really focused on this block. Would have thought this is it for Hamish. To really work that sloper with the left hand with the match. Oh, it's not going to happen. "60-degree roof section." Look at that left hand as he works through that sloper match. That is brutal.
Wow, amazing effort from Hamish. He really gave it everything on that final go.
Nice little boot of some action across the mats as well.
Yeah,
that's what we want to
emotions
see.
are running high.
Yeah, we just seen Max kick the wall. Route setters have put on a proper fight here. Iggy Rinaldi really playing for pride on this last boulder. Currently sitting down in 8th, but only just 0.2 between her and 7th. But obviously a good early top would be nice. Here we go into this super cool paddle dyno to finish. Huge momentum required. Iggy's an incredible climber. She's absolutely tiny, but somehow has been really working on that dynamic game, and she can just fly. Reece Connon, as we can see on the progress bar and the potential score, has the ability to go above Luca Martins, who has finished his competition here. Even a zone would do it. Nice from Iggy. Looks like the backswing isn't quite giving her enough momentum at the moment. He's just trying something a little bit different, bringing out those route climbing tactics. Another good effort at the paddle from Rinaldi. It is so far. I have to say, this men's number 4 is one of the hardest boulders I think I've ever seen at British Bouldering Championships. It's totally insane. Very, very hard round in the men's. Low scores.
Iggy getting closer for sure.
See where she's having to land her right foot really high up on the volumes. Just to give her enough press and push to go towards the finish hold. She is going to go in for another big go. Looks absolutely cooked up there.
Iggy running laps on this boulder, really making the most of the limited time she's got left.
Yeah, great show. Really, really good. Reese just looks totally blown at this point. Tapped out.
Can Iggy do it?
He's going for the buzzer beater. Oh.
Looked like she just faded out a little bit towards the end.
Diane and Zoe there, you can see both going really well here. British Championships is going to come down to the final climbers on the final boulder. That is what we want to see. Diane has previously in the last World Cup season really excelled on the powerful steep boulders. Zoe, that bottom foot is just a giant dual texture, sort of sloping ledge.
Now even with a flash, I'm pretty sure Zoe couldn't take the win anymore, but there's still second and third to play for. Oh, and it almost was a flash.
So close as well. Look at this from Diane.
First go.
Diane's just camping about here. Insane.
Wow, Diane's really saving best till last.
This is incredible from Diane on the final boulder.
Come on, Diane.
Pushing for the finish with a horrendous press move. Oh! Possibly a little bit rushed on the last move. It looked like the left foot slipped as well.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't really take his time in figuring out whether to go fast or go slow, and it looked like there was absolutely nothing on that top hold.
Yeah, real sort of undercut press to finish. Cannot be done in a sort of quick method. You have to really press slowly up into it before trying to hoik the right foot up onto one of the previous ledges to find control on that last hold. The way he campused that lower section was absolutely ridiculous. Zoe though, second go now. Nice quick 1-2 before this huge paddle dyno. Oh yes! Amazing from Zoe Peterman. Winner of this competition in 2024. She's done absolutely everything she could now.
I take it back, my maths was completely wrong.
Decimal places being knocked around here very, very quickly.
And Zoe Petermans is top of the leaderboard.
99.2. Impressive score. Beth's Lucy Garlick. Emma Edwards, of course, still to come.
Zoe's worked a lot on her coordination skills, so I feel like a win or a second place as a result of smashing the coordination boulder would make it even sweeter. And Diane asked the crowd for a bit of support.
Diane just absolutely loving this lower section. Just sit and watch this. Oh, that right hand black hold is incredible. There's no opposition with the thumb because it's dual textured. This time, Diane. Come on. All the way now. Press into that top hold. Goes quick again. That looks absolutely savage. He's going back in. Surely not. Nothing to lose really at this stage apart from further skin. This move here. Oh, the tension required across the shoulders for that. A brilliant show. And no doubt a big 2026 still to come for Diane Akhtar on the World Cup circuit.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to see what he achieves this year. Now let's see what the Campus King can make of this power boulder. He's campused 8B in the last 6 months on rock. But can he campus his way through this final boulder at the British Bouldering Champs?
Yeah, the crowd are getting right behind him because they know he has really struggled here tonight. You do wonder how much that foot injury has played into the mindset. We talked about it a little bit in the semi-finals, but you know, the recovery period from that ankle foot injury has not been that long.
No, it really hasn't. But Max has not missed a day of training since, I can guarantee that. He may have said earlier today that he felt a bit off, but let's hope that he can kind of redeem the day on this final boulder.
Yes, nice from Max. Oh, wow.
Wow, such control on these terrible holds.
Almost making it look easier than Diane. I didn't think that was possible. Whoa, you called this one, Molly. Skips a hold there into the press. Could this be a show-stopping finish for Max Milne? He's made that look like a V2, dude.
And the crowd are so hyped for Max, and why wouldn't they be when he tries pulling stunts like this? Max Milne, what a way to finish a really tough day.
Yeah, good style to finish. Good show as always for Max. Tough day at the office though.
Yeah, showing us what we know he's capable of.
And what's, I suppose, reassuring for him is that he knows he's had a bit of a battle across the first 3 bowls, but ultimately he's got the top end power to compete with the likes of Diane.
Yeah, he's still absolutely at the level and just needs a bit of refinement, and that's what these next few weeks and months of training are for.
Yeah, that was really, really good scenes from Max as Izzy Bridgens just not quite finding the paddle dyno on this one. Again, not using that middle of the 3 sort of sideways volumes up there. Interesting, we've seen a whole bunch of different hand sequences on that last move. It was early on Isabella Edgington who really smashed her way through that boulder with absolute ease. Trying to control that first move. It's the right foot that's skating away from her, really stretched. Nice at this stage in the competition where things calm down a little bit. Just one or two climbers on the wall at the same time. Obviously, this format is consistent across the World Cups, but normally it's a single gender final with two climbers on the wall. But obviously, we're running men's and women's simultaneously here, so it has been pretty epic entertainment. A lot of moves happening all at once. Izzy Bridgens really battling away at that same method time and time again. Currently sitting in 8th position. Could bump up a couple of places here. Just find something on this potential last attempt. Come on, let's go. Still not quite got the momentum with the hands through there. Ultimately disappointment slightly here for Izzy Bridgens. Going to go away with 6th. Final rotation, Molly. It's been an incredible scene so far. Jack McDougall's got it to do here, as has Emma Edwards. It's going to come down to the final climbers on the final boulders. A top from Jack would obviously put him way out in front. And Emma Edwards, she's got plenty of attempts in hand here. Calculators at the ready. You would have thought really this is Emma Edwards' competition to lose from this point onwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like dominant force all the way through this competition so far as Jack McDougall goes to war on the 4th boulder. Oh, and there it is. Emma Edwards, a total domination all the way through Saturday, Sunday morning and here and Sunday evening. Destroys the field and wins and becomes your 2026 Female British Bouldering Championship winner. 99.9.
An amazing score in this evening's final. I know. I wonder if she'll be wishing she had that perfect 100, but a first title for Emma Edwards. An amazing achievement. And I mean, I can't wait to see what she achieves this year as well. It's so exciting, all of these athletes. I just know that they're going to go on to have amazing seasons this year.
Very, very high-class performance from Emma Edwards. Proves that she's got the techers across 4 different styles. She's got the head game to deal with the pressure. Coming out last on the last boulder, knowing that she needed to top it. Very, very impressive. Jack. Couple of attempts to the zone as well. Might just be enough here.
It is certainly going to be tight between Diane and Jack.
Hamish MacArthur is already settled in bronze medal. Jack pacing around at the bottom of the wall. Absolutely in the zone here. Crowd really lifts for Jack. This is one of the last big attempts then. Brutal. Can he hold it? He's not going to be given that. So close here, Molly. Everyone's on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, it really is tight, and there's not much time left on the clock. I bet Diane is sat somewhere, nervously waiting, but also cheering Jack on. Fellow training partner, teammate.
Has he got enough to even secure a zone here? He looked relatively close there. Hit the hold. Certainly not in control. looking at the decimal places, it could be this attempt. This is it. 15 seconds to go for Jack McDougall to become British champion. Looks tired across the shoulders. Left foot doesn't look good, but trying absolutely everything. That's better. Not going to happen. Cannot beat Diane's score, and it was Diane's immense power on boulder number 4 that crowns him your 2026 British champion. And Jack McDougall, with that, has to settle for silver. Absolutely amazing show here at the Depot Climbing in Sheffield. That concludes your final. Molly's going to make a quick run downstairs to grab our winners, Emma Edwards and Diane Akhtar. Absolute scenes all the way through this one. Really going to be interesting to see what they've both got to say, because that was an absolute battle. Different types of battle as well. Men's right down to the death, and Emma Edwards just really just had to stay in it and get it done. Fantastic British Championships all the way through this weekend in Manchester, and we have the British Lead Championships coming up in just a couple of weeks' time in this same city. We are just going to grab a quick word with the winners very, very shortly. And there we have it. Your results here tonight. 3rd place, Hamish MacArthur. A great performance. That one will go back to count back on 59.7. Just as that drops off the screen, Jack McDougall was 2nd and Diane Akhtar was obviously 1st. Lucy Garlick 3rd, Zoe Petermans in 2nd. A great British Bouldering Championships performance once again for Zoe, and taking her first ever British Championships win Emma Edwards. An exhausting weekend here. So much good stuff here in Manchester. And so much still to come. A really, really good way to get going pre-season. And no doubt we're going to see a lot of British athletes competing on the World Cup stage this year. Women's competition. 3 climbers getting all 4 boulders done. Good route setting. Really, really tough round for the men's, and the women's had to get quick tops. And ultimately, Emma Edwards only 1 drop, 1 failed attempt on boulder number 2 was enough. Men's competition, no top on boulder number 2. Every other boulder really, really good. See Molly just down there in the red top, blue cap. Going to be grabbing a word with our winners. Let's hear from Molly and from Diane.
Diane, congratulations. I am absolutely over the moon for you. Your first British Championship title. I mean, it's a boring question, but how does it feel?
Good, yeah, good. I don't have any words right now.
A lot to take in.
Yeah.
How many British Championships have you competed in? It must feel like a little bit of a long time coming.
Yeah, last year was quite tough for me. I was like, couldn't have been closer, really. I just had deja vu on the last one, thinking it's going to happen again. But yeah, maybe I've done 4 British champs, I think. 2 podiums, and then I finally got it done today, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, that was a tense final 4 minutes with friend, teammate, training partner Jack. Kind of wishing the best for yourself, but also wishing the best for him. It must have felt really good to finally get that championship title after having such a successful season last year.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I had a really successful season last year, but for me personally, it was quite a tough year still. So to start the year off today, how I have, like with my family here as well, it means a lot to me. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I met some of your family earlier and it's really nice to see them here supporting you in person. Does it feel like a bit of pressure, or does it feel more special to have them here in the building with you?
Yeah, it's definitely pressure. It also felt really nice, not to get like too deep, but I don't know how long my sister will still be able to watch me compete, so it meant a lot to me. So,
well, I think everyone here tonight was behind you, everyone on the stream as well, and yeah, I'm just really glad that your family could be here to see you take the win. Congratulations. I think we're going to throw it back to Mike for a little bit and we're going to wait for Emma to come out and chat to her then. So, in a bit.
thank you, sorry.
And I'm back already, this time with our female British Bouldering Championships, Emma Edwards. Congratulations. Well. I mean, 99.9?
Yeah, nearly.
Are you happy? Are you a little bit disappointed it wasn't 100?
I think I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I definitely felt pressure because I could hear everyone was topping. So I wanted to take my time and make sure that I didn't make any silly mistakes. And yeah, it was good. It was really fun.
Yeah, I mean, talking about pressure, I feel like there was a lot of pressure on you today. Your name was shouted. Your name was mentioned in the run-up to this event. You had an amazing season last year, first Boulder World Cup final, and you won several invitational friendly competitions as well. How was it dealing with all of that pressure? Maybe for the first time as well in your career?
Definitely. I actually found it really hard. It's definitely been quite a mentally challenging comp. And I'm just happy in this round I could enjoy it more and put in a good effort on the boulders.
Well, I mean, you were so quick to top all of your boulders. We almost missed them all on the stream. And I hope you'll take some confidence from this into the season with you. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the World Cup season. Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, congratulations again and thanks for chatting.
Thanks, Molly, and that does conclude another epic British Championships. I want to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to Tech Native for producing an amazing broadcast. Obviously, the Depot Climbing, the BMC, got a little list here. GB Climbing, Secure It. It's been an epic weekend. You've been Molly Thompson-Smith, I've been Mike Langley, and we'll see you at the next one.
Hi there, my name's Steve McClure and I'm a BMC member and a BMC ambassador. So I first joined the BMC probably about 30 years ago, maybe more, I can't remember, it's a long time ago, but it's definitely many years ago. Something I can remember from the last year or so was something that really stuck in my mind as absolutely one of the best climbing days I've ever had in my life, and that was climbing Cenotaph Corner with my two kids up on the Cromlech in North Wales. And it's such an iconic route, one of the most famous routes, and a route which I'd known about for my whole life. And to climb that with my kids, who had a great time as well, was just such a special day. As good as any of the hard climbs I've ever done. Brilliant. As a BMC ambassador, I'm really keen to get involved with the access side of arrangements. I think for me, the access really is so important. I don't want to see that getting taken away at any point. So as much as I can do, I'm always willing to get involved. So going forward into the future, one of the big things the BMC has to do is just make sure that all climbers from all areas, all backgrounds, and whatever they want to do in climbing are all completely involved. And climbing is growing so fast, that's a lot of climbers. And it's going to be hard work to incorporate everybody, but we have to. We're the representative body for all climbers.
A good friend of mine describes being introduced to climbing as one of the best gifts he ever received. So if we think of introducing people to the outdoors and climbing, mountaineering as a beautiful gift, then why would we deprive anyone from it?
Okay. Classically, moving together means a number of climbers that are moving at the same time, usually joined by a rope. Being part of the BMC is being part of a really amazing community. Every type of person, you know, from all walks of life, and everybody's included.
Meeting people who share values and interests all around the world.
It's brilliant to have organisations like the BMC that are able to provide spaces and resources for communities to grow.
It all focuses around enabling people to do the climbing that they want to do.
Try and connect with people. I think that's the most valuable thing you can do with your climbing. Share ideas, share creativity. I think it's the biggest aspect of climbing for me, is the community.
Everybody is cheering for everybody. It's a really nice community to be a part of.
Adventure means different things to different people. Having an enjoyment of the outdoors and having a sense of adventure, you learn to think quickly under pressure.
Well, I think it's a tricky thing, because at one level you could say it's a sort of an adrenaline addiction, but I'm not an adrenaline sort of a person really. You need to be prepared yourself and sometimes taking guidance from somebody else as well.
Adventure is good for your well-being.
So I find myself very easily distracted on my phone. And I find that when I'm outside, when I am halfway up a cliff, when I am hiking with friends, all of that sort of takes the back seat a bit.
Sometimes normal life can be quite stressful, but adventure climbing and getting yourself out there can just help you manage those tricky moments.
The freedom it gives me, particularly as a full-time wheelchair user, it's mentally and physically challenging, and it's something I can do with all my friends.
A large part of making things accessible is role modelling.
You know, it's not exclusive to top climbers, it's not exclusive to competition climbers or whatever. Everybody can come and have a go.
We have a part to play in breaking down the barriers that prevent people from going into the outdoors.
It's lovely when we can come together from diverse backgrounds, we can come together from very different genders and ages.
We're all guests anyway, whether we're in the Peak District or in the Himalaya, and part of the delight of being in places is to be with other people and involve people in the excitement that it gives me anyway.
I believe that representation matters. When you can see people that look like you, that gives you the confidence, the courage, the ability to dare to be.
The BMC reps working with access, this is crucial, and for me it's one of the most important things, because the access to the outdoors is just so important. They're constantly working with landowners, farmers, making sure paths are in good state of repair, making sure we have access to the cliffs. You know, there's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes.
As individuals who are climbing a lot outdoors, you totally have a responsibility to not leave any mark.
These are beautiful places, and I think people should try and leave zero trace.
It's all about trust. It's all about moving together and trusting each other, and that's a really good example to use that in terms of the BMC, moving together, trusting each other going forward.
Oh, that's well nice. Try it.
Go on. I think supporting each other, not just through climbing, but through life, is quite important.
Rana was